Houston, I think we have a problem. Astronauts have a pretty scary job, and it's not always guaranteed that they will return home safely. Sadly, over the years, a number of astronauts have passed away during flights and tests that have gone wrong. Their last message sent back to base are often horrifying. So let's take a look at this in today's video. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Top 5. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan. Make sure you guys hit that like button, comment something down below, and subscribe to our channel. From astronauts pleading for help to others screaming and crying. Let's talk about this in the video, Top 5 Scary Last Words Said by Astronauts. Starting off this countdown, we have Apollo 1. On January 27th, 1964, a fire took the lives of 3 astronauts during the launch rehearsal test. A damaged wire was the cause of this fire. Then a spark in the spacecraft ignited a flame. The high-pressure pure oxygen environment was the perfect catalyst for a fire to start. Then the foam pads and nylon netting in the craft added fuel to the fire. Poor astronauts struggled to get out and ended up perishing in the flames. Their last communication went as so. Ed White yelled, "Fire!" into his headset. Then Gus Grissom yelled, "I've got a fire in the cockpit." Then the third astronaut, Roger Chaffee, yelled, "Fire!" as well. The last thing they all said was, "Get us out." This transmission was then followed by their screams as they were engulfed in the flames. The last thing they said was a plea for help for somebody to get them out of there before they died. Oh, that is so dark. It just sends shivers down my spine. In our fourth spot, we have the Lost Cosmonaut. Back in the 1950s, 2 brothers, Achille and Giovanni Giudica, were working as amateur radio operators. They gathered together old gear and set up shop in an old bunker. In 1960, they came across something pretty terrifying. So they claimed that they got signals from a Soviet cosmonaut that was lost in space. Apparently, she was returning to Earth's orbit when everything began to go wrong. Her spacecraft was malfunctioning, and in the recording, the woman, speaking in Russian, is pleading for help, saying it's getting hot. Then the spacecraft bursts into flames. Thankfully, they saved the recording so that they could share it with others. Now, the Soviets denied this, saying that it was an unmanned craft that burned. But the thing is, a lot of cosmonauts died during the space race. But the Soviet Union refused to reveal those deaths. Half the time, they would just cover them up. So it could be that this recording is real and captures the last moments of this woman pleading for her life. Moving on to number 3, we have the Soyuz 11. On June 6, 1971, 3 Soviet cosmonauts launched into space. Their goal was to make a record for the longest time spent in space. Sadly, the mission failed and they became the first people to die in space. Now, the spacecraft landed perfectly, but when the team opened the hatch, they found all 3 crew members dead. Their faces filled with dark blue spots and blood dripping from their ears and noses. What happened was their breathing ventilation valve ruptured. They died from decompression. They died within seconds. It happened so fast that they couldn't even get a word out. So I'm kind of cheating by putting this one on the list, but the last thing heard from them was a gasp for air, then a weird popping sound, probably from the air in their lungs expanding from the drop in air pressure and being exposed to the vacuum of space. To me, that is more terrifying than hearing them plead for mercy. Like, you're literally hearing them die. In our second spot, we have Vladimir Komarov. Vladimir Komarov was a Soviet test pilot, aerospace engineer, and cosmonaut. In 1967, he was sent on the Soyuz I. The mission ended very badly, though. Here's the thing. The spacecraft was very faulty. There was 203 structural problems with it. The thing is, Vladimir kind of didn't have a choice. He was forced to go on this mission. If he didn't go, then the backup pilot, who was his best friend, would have to go. And he said he didn't want to do that to his friend, so he went and sacrificed his life instead. Wow, that's just true friend goals right there. What a hero. Anyways, once he began to orbit Earth, a number of issues began to happen. Like the antennas didn't open properly. It was his re-entry into Earth that killed him though. On April 24th, 1967, Vladimir crashed full speed into Earth after a parachute failure. Only a chipped heel bone survived the crash. His body was found as a badly charred lump. On his way down, translators heard him say, "Heat is rising in the capsule." He then began to curse the people who put him inside of this botched spaceship. He was yelling, saying that they killed him. His final moments were him crying and cursing in rage. As a result of this incident, Vladimir became the first human to die on a space mission. Imagine hearing those final moments though. That would just change your life forever. And in our number 1 spot, we have the Challenger. On January 28th, 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger broke apart during the flight. It happened only 73 seconds into the flight. This resulted in the death of all 7 crew members on board. The crew consisted of 5 NASA astronauts and 2 payload specialists. Basically, what happened was at 11:39 a.m., the shuttle started to break down over the Atlantic Ocean. It started because of a failure of the O-ring seal in the right solid rocket booster. From there, the right solid rocket booster failed during takeoff. Then the force of the takeoff basically caused the rocket to break apart. Now, it's thought that some crew survived the initial breakup, but the impact onto the ocean surface would have killed them. The last words came from pilot Michael J. Smith. All they heard was him say, "Uh-oh," before they lost communication with them altogether. It's believed that the "uh-oh" came after they felt a huge jolt from the shuttle breaking apart. That's the last thing he ever said. It was later retrieved from the flight deck tape recorder from the ocean floor 2 months after this incident. Now, here's where it gets even darker and twisted. Apparently, a secret tape was leaked from NASA. On this tape, it was revealed that the recording continued on after the "uh-oh." After that, you could hear someone yelling, "What happened? What happened? Oh God, no." And then you could hear screams and cries. Someone began to pray, others began to curse. One of the astronauts can be heard saying, "Can't breathe," choking. Another can be heard yelling, "We are dead." Now, apparently this is a hoax and the tape has been debunked, but some NASA employees have admitted to hearing way more after the "uh-oh," and NASA is just covering it up. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video, and are you a fan of space? Do you like space, or are you terrified of it? Because it's pretty scary out there. Speaking of comments, I'm going to be shouting out some comments from the video, top 5 horror movie urban legends you thought were real. That Deal79 commented, "My shoulder fetish was going wild." Well, now I got both shoulders exposed, so ew, and you're welcome. Sean Dobson commented, "I love the Disney Disco album in the background. I had it on vinyl when I was little. I love Macho Duck." Here's the thing. Some people love it, some people hate it. In my last comment shout out, somebody was dissing me for having this hung up right there. But you know what? I like it, and other people like it. It's not everyone's cup of tea. I get it. But I think my setup looks really sick, and I think you're just jealous. Not Sean, but like the other person. Anyway, thank you, Sean, for your comment. Jay Gronley commented, "I think you covered some of the best urban legends." Why, thank you. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite urban legend is. Mariana commented, "Haters gonna hate. I love you, Linz. Keep coming back. When I see it as you, I go immediately to the vid." Thank you so much, Mary. I really do appreciate that. It makes my heart warm. Alright guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Top 5 for more spooky videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and stay spooky, YouTube. I'll see you when I see ya.